Go. Okay. Okay. Is everything running? Is everything working? Let's do a check. So check one.
Here, I'll check.
I gotcha.
I'm just doing check. Check.
Oh! Check.
Check. System check. 1, 2, 1, 2. System check.
Check. System.
Okay. Check 1. Check 2. Check 3.
Checking.
Are we sounding good?
I need to make sure myself. Really quick.
My thing's loading.
Crap.
Oh, my web's loading. Oh, it's loading very slowly. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear. Everything's good.
Okay. Good.
So,
Alright.
With that being said and everything finally alleviated, welcome to the first non-technical all-in-jest stream. Most of us aren't here right now, but as you all know, I'm Mr.CanKnotNot.
Hello, I'm Radio.
Yo, I'm Wicked, otherwise known as Wicked Plays. I make gameplay videos, reaction videos, and F&F covers.
And this is Fire. He's not speaking, but his name's Fire.
What we'll do in post is we will have sped up footage of the first 2 attempts play right there, and then just up and like, hi, I'm Fire from the internet. just crop in overlay.
Yeah.
I wish I could just pick up his arm and just start waving it around.
That would be really funny for the papyrus puppet avatar. Just
yes, exactly.
Here, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Tell me when I mess really quick.
Right.
So, this has been something that's been planned for a while now. We've just not had anything that we've been able to coordinate and just land on. There was one idea, but we never actually got around to coordinating and scheduling when it would happen. So this was the best time because all of us are very into the TADC series at this point, and with the finale right around the corner and the theatrical release being less than a week away, we figured, you know what, why not just kind of pull all of the collective theorizing that's been done up until this point in a one stream. Now, Wicked and I were planning on doing this and figured we'd reach out to the rest of the crew to see if they'd be willing to. There are 2 people who are not here as of right now, and I don't know if they will be able to participate in later streams, but that'll definitely be a really fun time if we can actually get everyone on.
Also, we might leave early during this stream too, because we have plans.
So, to get this party started, for lack of better words, I figured that it would be a good idea to kind of backtrack through the kind of previous theories that we've had, and then see, given what we had seen, watched, and then just kind of speculated on, which thoughts have come true in regards to the episodes before they released, and which ones we just got dead wrong. We're going to be waiting for Wicked to return before we really get into the episode 9 deep dives. But as we had said prior, I think it'd be a good idea to at least start talk by kind of loosely mentioning episode 6. That was the speed run round, right? Because episode 5 was the fast food? Or was episode 6 the gun game?
First was the introduction. Second was the Candy Kingdom. The third was the Manor.
Hall. Fourth was the speed run, and the fourth was the fast food one.
Fourth was the fast food, yeah.
Fifth was the
and then
run.
six was the gun. And then 7 was
the button. 8 was what we had just seen with
8, yeah.
Kane's deletion.
And then now we're on 9, which is the last one.
So I would say the biggest thing that I had heard, even online in general, was that
Anyway, I'm back.
the
He's back.
so we're going back into the gist of the older theories. A few of
Welcome
the
back,
theories that we
my
had
kid.
stuck with, or at least was speculating
I'm gonna kill you.
more about.
I do it first.
Save it for the repo stream. We all know we want that.
That is true. I do want to do that.
Next thing you know, we're gonna see at least one of them go to tumble roll into the other and then jump right into a ravine. That's gonna happen. I
You'll
got
love to
money on
hear
that.
me scream during that one. Ugh,
Um,
jeez.
but as stated,
Yeah.
going back like episode 6, even further back, most of the discussion was around even just in general online that I had seen was how did everyone get there? And if it's not a it was pretty much the brain scan, the kind of the wormhole where the soul got trapped into it. I'm trying to think of the other ones
Yeah.
where it was like clones or that they had actually
I mean,
Jumanji style got sucked into the game.
I know some people were like theorizing that they're dead and that they've just been there for like years, but like not a lot of time has passed by in the actual
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. That would be insane.
I mean, given what we saw in episode 8, that could very well be the case that the last remnant of their existence is
Oh,
in the circus.
a quick heads up. I'm reading the chat, so whatever you want to put in there, I will read it out, and people will answer your questions if you have any.
Yeah.
And this is where we go in lawyerese with limitations.
Yes, don't ask weird questions. We will get rid of you. Don't be weird. We do not tolerate
do I
weirdos
have
in
any of you
here.
set as staff on my channel again? I know
I
I have a
don't
few
think
admins
so.
on my channel. Okay. I'll get that sorted
Not that
out
I
at some
know.
point.
Alright.
But what were other theories? I know that the Cain and Abel paradox has been abundantly obvious, and 8 did resolve that as well.
Yep.
Didn't I send within the Discord a concept art that I had made for the Abel program?
I think
and
you did.
I was planning on doing like an audio log or whatever where the devs were trying to like work on like the 2 coding or like both of them were made for the projects. I feel like a lot of us were very much under the impression that the circus was something made as like a video game in and of itself, but the reason for it was different.
You said that thing with Abel, and it still kind of sits weird with me because when Cain, got rid of him during that scene with the buttons, he didn't exactly just turn into confetti. Something weird happened to him when he disappeared, and it still doesn't sit right with me. Like, maybe that wasn't Abel, but that was definitely somebody.
Are you talking about in the beginning?
I'm talking about at the end. When
The
he's
end
like,
of episode
oh,
7.
isn't that Abel? He was working with me, and then he's like, I don't need you anymore. You're too self-aware, and then he gets rid of him.
No,
Yeah.
there were a lot of confetti with it as well. It was the lighting for that was a little weird, but I believe there was confetti. We can check
He also
that.
screamed though. Didn't he like scream or something? Or did he make like a sound that was also kind of weird?
Abel did like actually.
That was
like,
a little
scream.
messed up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
For sure.
Still never sat. A case that never sat right with me.
So.
Oh.
With that being said, and I know, as far as the programs go, do we think that when Cain's program where the coding for Cain got removed, that all AIs got removed? Because I know that he kept it isolated, but is there a chance that there are AIs that are still able to be accessed? or brought back into it, because there were other systems within the recreation of the Office, and who's not to say that they can't conjure a new computer?
It's kind of weird because I feel like this is something that is shown like in the earlier ones, like episode. Shoot, which one had therapy in it? Which episode was that one?
Was that episode? That was episode 3, I believe, because that was Mildenhall Manor.
Yeah, so because in that one,
hold on.
yeah.
So,
is there a question?
Kinsley said in the posters there's bees, and I have a feeling that he comes back because he's obsessed with drawing bees.
So
the
biggest issue
interesting.
with that is that
yeah.
and I'll give credits to sources that I referenced in the comments, or not in the comments, but the description when I remember them. Someone was talking about the terminal in episode 8, and that was very reminiscent of a Linux terminal. And when you put in a command and you tell it to do something, it does it. The whole thing with that is that, given what we see, you have the program intentionally trying to get Kane or itself deleted, and we do see that happen. There's no guarantee that it's 110% accurate, or if it's accurate at all, but there's a good likelihood that Kane is permanently deleted.
Yeah.
Which goes back to my thought process of asking about the AI, and like the ones that he created. Was that underneath his program? Like, is that him running it himself, or was that something that he made off to the side, compartmentalized it as like an output that can be accessed by the crew later?
See, that's what I was talking about. So I was saying how it's kind of weird because in that therapy episode in episode 3, when you clearly see like Kane's getting a little unstable and everything around him starting to shake and break, like he is the main piece when things are bad. Like we saw at the end of episode 8, things will completely break and like everything's all colorless and all like holes in the ground. And with that, because we also see that Kane can easily like poof people away. He can shove people in cellars. He can do all these things to get rid of NPCs, put in NPCs. But also in episode 2, on top of that, we saw those models under the map. Like their presets are still under there, which could be maybe secondaries in case something happens with the game code, or it could be extra files within the game code, because we clearly saw when Gummy Goo went under there, he didn't like disappear or anything, but he could see himself. Which I think is very interesting.
For that, in reference, and for anyone who's not as much of a geek, for lack of better words.
Yeah, I'm not a gaming person. I don't really know how gaming stuff works. I'm just speaking from
that
stuff.
The best way that I can relay that is there's like a dev area, and you know how in some cases you'll find like platforms. Biggest and easiest way to find this is some Roblox games have this.
Yes.
If you get out of the map, there's an area underneath that. It will be like the dev zone. I know Fallout has an area that you can use commands to go into the dev area. I forgot what that was. The smoke room, I believe. I think it's really the smoke room.
Yeah.
Those models are for references. That way it can remove models that aren't immediately being used and then be called upon later. So there's a good chance that model data and stuff like that is held separately if that wasn't underneath Kane's file as a whole. But I feel like since Kane, so again, it isn't a video game in the classical sense. This is a language model or a creative model as a whole, generated in instance. So to a degree, there is elements that are left behind. It's just deteriorating, for lack of better words. And for me, I wonder if that has something to do with defragmentation of the data, and with Cain being gone, the world is just deteriorating.
Yeah.
Or that is some failsafe that Cain put in place.
Yeah. Was there a question in the chat?
Oh no, there wasn't. No, there isn't a question. Well, yeah, there's something in the chat. I mean, I wasn't gonna ask a question, but Kinsley again said, "Realistic. If you're gonna make an AI intelligence, wouldn't you make a backup copy? Couldn't Kinger just bring him back in the dark if he remembered the coding even enough to delete him? We know that Kinger was part of his creation and all."
Yes.
Which is fair, but also at the end, after everything happens, Kinger clearly says, I killed Cain, which I feel like could indicate he also has no clue how he would even bring him back with that kind of response.
And this would go back to what I was referring to previously about it being a Linux terminal. Because if it was Linux, that would be all the files are being deleted and all attached. Unless there was a separate backup file in a different directory, there's a good chance that quite literally everything got just absolutely annihilated. It's wishful thinking, and I feel like if anything, there could be something like oh, well, like, I made this story and hope you all enjoyed it. I feel like that could be something, like we're watching something that was AI made and the story is by Cain. So we're watching the story by Cain for us as the viewer, as Cain is aware of, and even Jax is aware of that this is a show. So it could be that, it's, humans stuck within the simulation, but that's the story that's being made by the system.
Yeah, and even if he hypothetically could, we also saw the computer fall into the void, the only computer they had to even do that with, so they would have to probably go down there and find it if they wanted to attempt to even bring him back.
Which makes me think, is there a likelihood that we're going to see them enter the void at all?
Hey, I mean, there were so many implications even from the beginning when Cain was like, oh no, it's not done yet, I don't want you to get spoiled, like, you can't be here, but a lot of people were also theorizing that that could be the exit is through the void, and we see it now.
But again, we don't know yet.
Yeah, that's true.
We can't 100% tell if they're going to be in the void.
But
that's why we're cooking up theories.
Given that Kinger was playing around with the console, now, can we trust Cain as a reliable narrator? Can we say with confidence that we can wholeheartedly trust that everything that we're seeing is not just another, well, look at that, look what happens when I'm gone type of thing? Goose did confirm that Cain was dead, but who's not to say that Goose is saying that as more of the vessel that we're seeing is dead, but the thing that's actually running it, Cain, is still up and running and is the one actually putting everyone through the simulation or the brain scans, if the brain scan theory is still even accurate.
Also, you can't trust creators. They always tell you stuff and then something happens that goes against what they said. You can't trust them. They'll always lie.
Goose likes to lie quite a lot.
Lie.
So,
but now,
Now,
honestly,
with that being said, so it's again we've seen the mind scans, we've seen that. What would now? I'm still just loosely going off my notes here, but I want to add to that. What would happen if they were to leave, go through the void? Because it shows them going towards the screen, but Cain says, venting to himself, he's like, I made perfect bodies for their mind files. And I feel like Cain rambling to himself, unless that is something performative for us, the viewer, because again, I wouldn't, I'll be a little ticked off if it's just like, so how'd you like the adventure? Want to join in? Or like, oh, tune in next time for like.
I would be so bad.
Honestly, yeah. And as much as I feel like we can't trust him as an unreliable narrator, as a reliable narrator. He also, has shown a lot of things that AI is not supposed to be able to do, like emotions and like, oh, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's break this, let's break that. And on the same time, with what you were saying, we also saw him looking at those photos, and there wasn't really any spoken words, but he was looking at like actual photos of things that we've seen even without him being present. So I feel like as much as Kane's not reliable, there are some things that he does that are like actually towards something true.
And the pictures that he's specifically looking at is the CNA offices that Pomni was running through.
And the computers.
Which we know would have been a part of the data set to a degree, but how are we to know that that's not world building and manipulation? Especially
those pictures were so specific.
Right, but again, we look at what happened with Abel. We look at what happened with Episode 8. We look at even the stuff prior. Like, Kane prides himself on telling a story and is aware of the external world. Who's not to say that Kane is just pushing further?
Well, for starters, we also don't know how long he's had those pictures for, and we don't necessarily know what he was even thinking during looking at those images, because he could have just found them and been like, okay, there's these pictures of like these computers and stuff. I have to come up with like an adventure to get their minds off of all this like leaving things. Let me make up this whole adventure with Abel so they think that there's something, but in the end there isn't. So he's still a pathological liar, but he was trying to find and come up with an excuse to get them to think that they were actually going to have freedom. Kind of deal.
I like that.
Well, I mean, it's very shown that he is a pathological liar.
Yeah, a lot of times.
The thing is that he gives false information, but is that more of in the intent to lie or doing something as directed? Because if he's creating a narrative and something to entertain, as he is assumed his role is it more of just constantly in this notion of how do I keep attention? How do I get emotions? Because emotions is what I'm looking for. I would love affection, but right now the best thing for me to do as a creative output is to get a reaction at all.
Yeah.
Well, as much as
is the vessel that we've seen actually Kane, is Kane still abundantly obvious, and how long has that simulation been running for? Because there's no way that the computer has been on 24/7. There's got to be some form of blackout. We know it's been more than 10, 20 years that it's open. And
sorry.
It makes me wonder, especially with Kinger not being able to remember stuff, could that be that data is fragmenting? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. That thing with Kane, though, because, yeah, there are scenes where he says, like, well, I'm just doing what I'm programmed to, like, I'm just coming up with these stuff because it's in my code, but there's also scenes with him where stuff happens, and he reacts sporadically. He's like, that's not what I was thinking, that's not what I was planned, but he's also was told multiple times ways to do this, like, change your adventures, like, we know you're supposed to, but you have to also help us, and he's blatantly just ignored them. He could switch his adventures and still be in his programming to do adventures for these people in his circus, but he is clearly shown to refuse to do these things, and he's also clearly shown agitation and, like, anxiety towards certain reactions towards it, which wouldn't seem like something in an AI programming if you're supposed to do something. AI doesn't question, it's just like, I'm doing this, and we're doing this, and that's how it's gonna happen, like he did in the beginning, but he was, like, slowly progressing some sort of sentience over time that got so bad that it started destroying everything if something didn't go his way.
So
yeah, the thing that sticks out with me about episode 8 is that whenever it gets to the main bit before Kane gets deleted, right?
Yeah.
You know, the why do you people torment me part. All the segments where the cast gets tortured, right?
Mm.
Is what they said.
Yeah.
Like, for example, for Gangle, you discourage us from thinking outside the box, from doing things our own way. And then in her scene, whenever it came to, you know, being in her place, she wasn't thinking, and she got ran over by a truck somehow. And then whenever it came to Jax, we'll get to Jax later.
Mhm.
We'll especially get to Jax later. He's going to be a big issue in this episode. So with Jax, he said, "You lie to us constantly." What a hypocrite, by the way.
Fucking hypocrite.
Oh,
can I curse in your live?
I feel like most of the cast are hypocrites for a lot of the stuff that they said, especially considering.
I mean, literally what that scene was that he was just talking about was showing how they are hypocrites to their own words. Because, you know, like, even Zubo was like, you don't let us be ourselves.
Somebody asked in the chat, how do we feel about Jax?
I personally don't like him. There are some qualities to him that can be relatable, but overall, he's kind of just a dick. And he doesn't really show progress until, like, episode 7 or 8, where he actually starts to feel remorse, but that's only because he's starting to realize, like, hey man, this isn't a joke. This is actually happening. I have to actually lock in, and then in the end,
a sussy boy.
He's still doing all that stuff willingly, may I say. Like, he doesn't have to be an asshole, and I know people always excuse it, like, well, Jax has trauma, Jax does this. So do the other cast. You don't see them doing the same thing he's doing, it's just him. So I don't like him.
How I feel about Jax. Kind of like what Radio said. Big dick. All right,
Yeah.
he's a douche. Qualities about him can be relatable. What I like about him though is that we just could not figure him out for all these episodes, because all we've known about him is that his name is Jax. There's clearly something wrong with him. He was close with Ribbit and Kaufmo, and then that's that. We don't know anything else. We don't know anything else other than the fact that he is mentally messed up by something that we don't know about. Maybe in the finale.
Well, we also know that he has something wrong with femininity or something of the sort, of being seen as, like, not as masculine of a man that he is with his room in that episode with the maid outfit. We also see that he owns a lot of items to get into places, because as much as he encloses himself and locks himself in, he does the manipulative thing of not letting other people have their privacy by being able to access their places, doing things that make them uncomfortable, and to the point that they don't want to be around him. But yet when people do that to him, oh, I'm Jax, don't do that to me. Like, I'm gonna act all alpha on you.
Kinsley said he's thinking he's gonna abstract or commit. That's straightforward. Hold on. But yeah, the best to say. I don't think anything good is going to happen with Jackson this episode.
I don't think anything good's gonna happen with anybody in this next episode.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like Jax is going to spiral, and we are going to see the darkest moments from Jax, and I feel like some of the other cast are actually going to fully lose it.
Mind you, Alex Rockon, the voice actor of Kane, in a live stream, he explicitly said that we haven't even gotten to Michael's best parts yet.
Remember the last time that was said about anyone doing voice work?
I don't.
That was about Kane before episode 8.
Oh, somebody's getting gone.
Oh no.
Somebody's gone.
There's... Oh boy. To backtrack a bit, is I haven't been able to answer it yet. Jax is, so to do more of an analysis from everything that I've seen, Jax is Goose's kind of intrusive thoughts.
Also, insert. They specifically stated like self-insert.
While also going over and
not
not understanding themselves, as Michael has said. Like, Jax is addressing a lot of trauma, a lot of baggage that they haven't even considered yet.
Yep.
And a lot of people will go over and say, like, oh, you look at the room, you look at this, you look at that, and it gives, like, some big indicator of specific stuff. But I feel like when I saw someone go over and address it, like, to me, it's like, oh, shoot. And I feel like the reason why he's, you know, the jerk that he is probably because the last time he talked with Ribbit, there was a massive argument, maybe even about leaving. And that ended up causing Kaufmo to spiral because Kane was messing with the exit doors and was planning stuff with the CNA office, which again, how do we not consider that world building and that building up to more stuff to be seen? But I feel like part of it is because Ribbit had abstracted and Jax and Ribbit swapped rooms.
So, funny enough, right? That works really well because Glitch posted something new, a little screen, posted something new, and it was an image of that little, that little snowy, adventure globe that you saw in episode 7,
staring at and kind of reminiscing of, and that we got the video with
so
the winter one.
If you guys are caught up with Glitch's post, Glitch posted like Ribbit facing backward, and what seems to be that same location or that same adventure that they went on. So, perchance that could be a thing, but we don't know. Again, we're theorizing.
Again, that also shows like why having relationships in the circus is so important of having mental stability, because you had the group with Jax and Ribbit and Kaufmo and then Kinger and his wife and the others like Scratch, and when everyone else started falling, like that argument broke out and Ribbit abstracted, and then Jax probably being the jerk he is after.
Stop looking at this red one.
Look.
Stop looking at his red one. What?
Stop looking at his red one? I'm looking down.
No. Stop looking at us, red one.
Oh.
Refer to you.
Funny. Yeah, you are red. They don't like you staring at them so much.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm trying to give you engagement. I'm addressing you as individuals. Fine. I won't address streamers the stream every
No.
He just wants to. Oh, my hand can't get low enough. Hold on, wait.
Do I have that?
Wait, can I grab it? You might have it disabled. Yeah, give me. Let me give the audience some comedy.
No, it.
That's the jester I am.
Comedy vibes. I see you.
I can't grab it. Well, I can grab my own head, and you might not like that very much, but I'll give you my own comedy. Hold on. There we go. You don't like him staring? I'll stare. I'll put my head as close as I can. But no. But yeah, so it's very important in the circus for them to have those relationships, because after Ribbit abstracted and Jax became who he was, don't question it. But after that happened and they all split off, I'm assuming after thinking more about the exit, probably through the argument of what happened in that snow world, that Kaufmo started actually realizing severity, going insane. Jax realizing the severity most likely, but just hiding himself away because he doesn't want to accept that, turned into all of that abstraction violence that we saw before Pomni joined, and then after when Jax realized that, hey, you know, like, she's kind of like Ribbit, but they're not exactly the same, but I don't want to show her that I care, but I want to keep her close, because that's the only thing that we've seen that was helping him not abstract, as we saw in the room he was about to, saw Ribbit, and then who comes knocking? Pomni, and he's like, you know what, sure, I'll help
life
you. And
emo
actually,
shit.
that fucking, it really is. But he's like, yeah, I'll help you. And again, that really shows, because if Pomni didn't care about Jax and never showed up, he probably would have completely abstracted. So that stuff with the relationship is so important. And even with Kinger, after he lost, you know, Queenie, we saw he was very devastated. And even Kane made the comment,
Question.
don't you go
we got a
abstracting
question.
on me. Oh.
Kinsley
What's the
asks,
question?
do we think we are going to learn more about Ribbit? My answer to that is yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have
like,
to.
Glitch already posted like 2 images of Ribbit either looking at Jax or looking somewhere, so I feel like we're definitely gonna get some more information on Ribbit.
And a teaser image
That too,
where it was
yeah.
showing Ribbit. So we're definitely gonna learn more in depth about what Ribbit was like, what was the relationship of Ribbit and Jax. And we're definitely gonna learn more about how they bonded or something like that, especially with Kaufmo.
Let me guess. When the end is happening, Jax is gonna go up to Pomni and be like, "Hey, Pomni, you know how I was depressively looking at that globe? I want to tell you about that adventure." And then it's gonna be some cut to him talking to Ribbit or something. I'm telling you.
So I had heard some stuff. So this goes back to the abstraction thing. In the trailer for Episode 9, you see an abstraction walking out of where Ribbit's room is at the end. We didn't see Jax's room for the longest time, and it's like, oh, what's going on here? We see the room, and it's different.
Definitely gonna have hella flashbacks. Yeah, I agree.
Could it be? And this theory is interesting, that Jax took Ribbit's room as a way of remembering Ribbit. Because there's photos on the wall, there's stuff that's not touched, no one's allowed in, no one sees anything or does anything, so I wonder if maybe they were hanging out in Jax's room and something happened. People also said, what if they're siblings and or twins?
I was about to say something about that.
The room thing... That's kind of confusing, though.
Yeah, because again, we don't know their relationship. We don't know what they were like whenever Ribbit was still there. We don't know. We don't know that yet.
Say is an obvious tell would be the design and stylization. Kinger and Queenie were a couple, but we see that stylization where like the designs being mirrored between the two of them.
But they also matched as chess pieces. Jax was a rabbit and Ribbit was a frog. That didn't really match.
Think about it. Both of them jump. Both of them have the same style.
I was going to say
different. It's not 2 different beings that are in a relationship. If they're siblings, they're going to be different. Similar characteristics, something you would recognize as hey, look, there's something between the 2 of them. They're related. So 2 animals that jump, it seems like that would make sense, especially considering both of them are lanky. Both of them have similar conventions to the design of their avatars.
Hell, they're both rubber hose.
I feel like it's kind of weird, though, because with all the context given, I feel like it would point more to Jax liking Ribbit as, like, an interest than as a, like, sibling. Because there's also that scene that we saw in the... not the scene, that picture we saw in the promo where they're kind of looking towards where we thought was Jax, but the lighting is very romantic with like the like the fireflies and everything. It doesn't seem very sibling relationship like.
Maybe my only thing is that both Kinger and Queenie were chess pieces, and if it was more of a romantic relationship that they were in, I feel like it would probably been like a rabbit and a hare, and having like slightly different variations of the same model rather than using the same body type and then having
Ooh.
different animals.
Maybe.
Ooh,
The thing
good
with, like,
question. That's a really good question.
what was the
No more
question?
Kane, no more restrictions, so would they slowly regain their memories back?
Well, I mean, I think that's fair to say because even now we saw that it was also darker, and as we know, Kinger can remember more in the dark. I feel like now that everything's all changed and the filters are gone and everything's
Yeah,
gone,
oh no.
people. Hey, maybe remembering their names is the exit because now, if we think of that theory and their memories do come back, they might actually remember who they are.
Maybe.
Perchance.
I feel like part of that could be that without Kane to reverse it, again, given the whole, if the mind file or the mind scan thing is accurate,
Yeah.
if he trimmed stuff or stuff got lost in transit,
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to be the case. Granted, we see Jax having like the flashbacks of him driving and stuff like that, so obviously they have memory of their life. It's just their names are intentionally scrubbed for whatever reason, and that might stay the case. The biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing that I have, though, without Kane to snap his fingers and manage the circus, who's not to say that injury and or death or manglement beyond recognition can happen? So they're not
That's
dead,
true.
but they'll be forced into a state where their only hope is abstraction, and they do just break.
Mm-hmm. I want to
Hmm.
add one more thing about Ribbit's room and Jax's room thing that you were saying earlier, and then I have to skedaddle for something. But I was gonna say that also is a bit confusing because we saw clearly in the scene when Jax was running down the hallway in I
5.
think it was 5, that he was looking at Ribbit's room and it was not in the placement of where Jax's room is supposed to be. So unless
Well, no,
Kane changed the placements, that wouldn't really make any sense.
we don't know if the plaques can be removed. If the plaques can be removed, it would be easy to just take one, take the other, and swap them. And since
I don't
Jax has
think
access to
though.
the rooms, it would be pretty easy to assume that he could have just opened the door, went in, and then just locked off his room, but then took the plaques and swapped it. Especially considering we saw the stuff with, Ribbit and in the crack in the wall and stuff like that. So maybe again, it could be that that's either the trypophobia or maybe him starting to abstract that made him start to hallucinate. But I feel like
Mm,
it might be more of a stretch than not to go over and say like, oh, that's the room to begin with. Because a lot of them seem to
maybe.
be very consistent with theming and are
Mm-mm.
based on the mind. So it's weird to see the room that seems to clash with Jax more than it would make sense. So maybe we'll see into the other abstracted rooms or something. That would be interesting, and that would clarify if we see Jax's room and it's like the opposite.
Compared to
Could
what
I
we
it?
have
mean,
now.
it's also insecurity though, as much as that wouldn't really add, but the same thing goes for like Pomni and Kaufmo. From what we've seen, their rooms, while they show their insecurities, they also match their color palettes. In Jax's room, while it being bright pink and blue and yellow, his fur, I would arguably say, is a very nice pastel purple. His outfit is a very nice pastel pink, which also matches the colors of his room along with the emotions of his room being immature, being younger, and we've also
Well, but
seen and heard that he is the youngest of the group, and we've
have we
also seen that he's
seen
the most immature. Yeah, sorry.
have we seen the other rooms for the cast? Because I know
We saw
Zuko has like the
Pomni's
different.
room.
Right. We've
We
seen
saw Zubal's room.
Zubal's room, but that was like pure blue, multiple mirrors to look on themselves.
But there was
like,
also
different,
pink in that room in different colors.
Right, but there's like confetti and stuff like that on the wall. So multicolor would be the case, but the focus, like the primary focus being blue. And then Pomni's room, the walls have like a
which
white
still
with
matches
like accents
Zubal,
to it,
though.
with like the blue accents, with like the bed being
The walls
red and
aren't
gold.
completely white in Pomni's room. There's a lot of also well, while being white herself, you know, her character color, there was also a lot of hints of red and blue, and even in Kaufmo's room there's hints of red and yellow, and again a lot of the color palettes and how it looks matches their characters along with their insecurities, like how Jack's room kind of does.
Okay. Kinsley said their names were apparently confirmed, but I'm not quite too sure. But also, if Kane was wiped out completely, wouldn't the circus go with him? Because as seen in the beginning of episode 8, he created it. Wouldn't that mean it would have been taken with him?
If the instance was separate, as we see with the files and stuff like that, which goes back to what I was saying about the AI. If it was saved separately in a different directory, then the instance itself would be able to function. I don't think it would explain the deterioration.
And I don't think he's necessarily the creator. I think he might think that because he is the ringmaster AI and he's programmed to be the leader of this place and make these adventures, but he is not the programmer. Technically, by stating that the programmer is the creator of the circus.
We've clearly seen so many times we've clearly seen so many times that he has a god complex.
That too.
But
alright, that's the last thing I needed to say. I need to leave. I bid everyone adieu. I bid you a tung tung sahu, and I'm out of here.
Alright.
Good luck, soldiers.
Yeah, I see you.
Have a good one.
No, you don't see me.
Alright.
I'm Jackson.
You have a great one, Radio.
Bye, Wicked.
Bye.
Bye, Not. Fire, if you're alive, you're supposed to be coming with me.
Yo,
both looked at him.
Fire.
That made me giggle.
Fire.
He responded to my message.
You have to do World of Imagination.
Come on.
Come
here, my little Jessa.
Insert funny falling sound effect here.
I just fell. You didn't see that. Goodbye, my
Alright, you guys have a good one.
Everybody, bye-bye.
So...
Fuck.
Move closer. Pretend like you two like each other. Come on now, you're friends.
Son?
Fuck!
You're fine.
Fire, why are you screaming? Oh my
I'm
god.
stuck in the keyhole.
Respawn.
Oh, this is this is a good stream.
Yeah, I can't seem to get out of this. I don't know if I locked myself into this spot.
Lock yourself in place?
Hey, chat.
Yeah.
Spam heart emoji, spam palm emojis while he's stuck.
But please don't spam heart emoji. But if you want to.
My friend.
Goodbye. There they go. Hey.
Let me. While I deal with the drift, I feel like me trying to match eye height here while trying to fight controller drift. This way, there's a bit better composition overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to kind of go back to what was being said, if the world was self-contained in a different file or directory, then I definitely could see, even if Kane makes it, because again, we see the use of repeat models, so unless it was bound by like the AI model, unless it's bound by the model itself, it wouldn't be deleted. which is why I had asked initially if the AI, would return. So if we see like disappearing guy appear and all this other stuff. But that also makes me wonder if the seller is going to be accessed, or if that means that the seller is gone. And if anyone abstracts now, they're going to be a danger, or was the seller a physical location? And I feel like it's a little weird considering that, the area by Kinger's tent opened up to the void. And it seemed more like, actually, if anyone can we cross-reference the Queenie or the speculated Queenie abstraction seller use versus the Kaufmo? Because granted, it might not be 100% accurate, but if it's the same spot each time and something was to open up, would that mean the seller opens, or is it going to be permanently sealed? Or is it that the mind files are going to take the place of Kane in what writes and dictates what the circus does and doesn't do?
Right. Yeah, no. I have no clue. With the whole episode 8 thing though, right? With like whenever Kane was putting everybody in their place. Pomni said, "You just don't listen." He gets thrown into an area where a very, very messed up version of Gummy Goo is there.
But what would
knowing
that have
that
to do with not listening? Because Pomni heard Gummy Goo out and helped Gummy Goo. Could it be that with Kane showing, like, I did listen to you? I'm very, very well aware that you liked the NPCs and you liked how the setup happened. Was that him showing that he listened? Or was that him telling Pomni, like, no, you didn't listen because you still went after Gummy Goo?
Yeah. Some of this can work really well too because we have Ragatha saying, "You don't make us feel like we're at home."
And then compared to what home was.
Yeah, and then
the thing with that surprises me is that out of all of the different cast members, I would say
we got Fragile Ego.
Zooble.
We got Fragile Ego for Zooble, yeah.
Oh, no, that was the dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Making them drown in the possibilities. Like, hey, you're uncomfortable with this? Here, drown in the possibilities. Have everything you want to and see what that changes.
This could go.
You're talking about ego, but, you're the one that's so stuck up about your own
image. This could go to a lot of things. I'm trying to think what else to, like, theorize about because...
My thing with that, right? Jax was everyone in the circus. We don't see anything involving anyone but those inside the circus.
Yeah.
So could that be that this is, again, only things that we've seen? And again, we have Pomni, only has stuff within the circus. Gangle, it's everything that we know within the circus. And then what happened during the fast food thing. The only two, or even one that really like deviates from outside of the circus, I would say would be Zooble.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, those are the only two that have a, here, let me use something that's from your life rather than a, we're going to use stuff that's been talked about in the circus and environments and stuff like that happened within the circus. And which was a criticism that I had seen of episode 8 was like, oh, out of everything that we've seen for the characters and everything we've heard so far, why is it that automatically the only things we see with the torment is that Pomni, Jax, Gangle, the three of them had stuff that we've only seen happen in the circus or things that we've speculated too. Jax's insecurity 100% was preyed on in that. But it's like Gangle had resolve to a degree. The instability about the emotion and not being able to address that, most likely having like a bipolar disorder, definitely showed. But it's like the truck, like Kane saw Gangle doing art stuff. Kane knew, again, given the fact that he's the one who built the circus and that everything that were happening is running through him to a degree.
Yeah.
He already said multiple times, my all-seeing eyes. He knows what's going on. I would have liked to have seen a little more detail about like things that we might not have seen, or something that would have related to previous adventures. Like if it's all going to be stuff related to adventures, see more stuff with that. But it's like Ragatha was specific. The room layout, the amount of mannequins used for siblings and or family. Like it's very specific. Same thing with Zool. Very specific. It's contained within the circus, but it's isolated. It seems more detached and unreal for the circus.
Yeah.
Gangle's was partially as well, but it wasn't to the degree that Ragatha's and Zubal's were. We've heard their backstory. But it's like, it stands out that those are the only two that really have more context outside of the circus, where everyone else's trauma was stuff that related to the circus and things that we've already seen or were hinted to. Now, with that being said, we still have yet to see a full abstraction. If Goose was talking about abstractions, are we going to see one of the cast fully abstract?
I mean, the closest we got was Jax in episode 7.
And do we think that he's still the closest candidate too? Because everyone's like, oh, like Goose said, is like, oh, who you least expect, and Jax is the one that's been seemingly fine the entirety of the time, but given the signs of depression, if that's still applicable, if what was said by Goose is still applicable, then will Jax still be eligible for being the one that abstracts? Could it be Kinger? Because now everyone's like, oh, we think you'd be the next one. You'd be the next one. You'd be the next one. We see Jax, then we still get hit with Kinger abstracting.
I don't really know what else really to say. I think I kind of said what I needed to say. It's also getting pretty late, and I can't really ramble anything else in my head.
Do you want to speed run the notes that I have, and then I can wrap up the stream on my end? Because we can speed run this. We're kind of proven/disproven.
Yeah, not really though, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you could do something with that, but until then, is there any last question that any of you guys want to throw in?
Yeah.
I know a few of you are watching. I'm looking at one of them that I explicitly know.
It's like, I got my eyes on you. This is a fourth wall break. This isn't like a scripted sitcom or anything, but we're watching you. You in the back. Don't squirm now. We know your shoulders.
Yeah. That's kind of all. That's kind of all for me. If you want, you can wrap it up. I'm not. I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna join up a few others.
Okay.
Who's me? I'm talking to you.
Who's me? I'm me. You're you. You know who you are, though.
I know. I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. Yeah, I'm talking about you. But yeah. Do anybody, especially you, have any other question? Gulp. What? Yeah. I can storm in your. I can really just storm in your room right now. What?
He's not only breaking the fourth wall, he's breaking the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, and the laws of physics. As we speak, nonetheless.
But yeah, no.
Breaking down the doors first, then taking the walls with it.
But yeah, no. That's kind of it for me, and I will see you guys on my channel whenever I upload my spoiler-free thoughts on the Amazing Digital Circus Last Act.
And the timing of that, I just got an invite from one of the people doing the voice acting gig for the party that's going on for the series.
That's funny. All right.
The red one has been chosen.
You with the damn chicken butt. All right. But until then, hi, I'm Wicked, otherwise known as Wicked Plays, and I will see you guys on my spoiler-free thoughts this Thursday. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, no problem. Again, repo or something later. We could probably even go back to the.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Because that was the first one we were supposed to do.
I don't know. I don't know. But if some of you are new, or I'm one of the newer content creators out there, I am semi-known for making the Amazing Digital Fracture. One of my most popular videos right now is that cover of Four-Way Fracture, but the TADC castings it. If you haven't seen that yet, I would recommend you take a listen. Just it is called The Amazing Digital Fracture. And with that, that's all I really had to say. And very dumb. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. Spoiler-free thoughts are going to be happening on Thursday, the 4th, and yeah, that's really it.
Yeah. It was
yeah.
great to have this started. Nice having you. Hopefully we get to do this again. I'll wrap up. Wrap up the thoughts. If you want to head out, you can.
Yep. And I won't be able to read. I won't be able to.
That ledge has been very consistent at this point. Starting with box before the stream started, then radio, then fire, and I feel like I'm gonna end up joining. So maybe we
you want me to
do
the. You want me to do the ledge? You want me to just fall off the ledge? Oh my god!
I feel like we have to now. Like we have to.
or do you want to do that original idea thing where you just gotta, you know what I'm referring to? So I don't kind of really spoil it.
I'm gonna wrap up kind of my thoughts in the notes that I had, just kind of speculating just a bit more.
Yeah.
Just kind of close down on my thoughts.
Just because I'm not gonna be in this. Just because I'm not gonna be in the concluding.
You're gonna be
don't leave.
The movement of the storm.
But anyway, I'm probably just gonna go down these stairs right here instead of falling off this ledge.
Fair enough. I feel like.
But until then, I'm Wicked Plays, and I will see you guys on my channel for my thoughts. And if not, I'm probably going to be uploading.
Did you lock it, or are you
Maybe
having the
another
same issues
government.
that I had previously?
I
Look
think.
at this. This guy's losing access to grabbing his head, and I could just lose my. I could just lose my.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Until then, again, I'm Wicked. I will see you guys later. Not will do his conclusion and with his own thoughts. So yeah. Bye bye. I'm sorry. All right. All right. You guys have a good one.
So I figured I would go through. Since we've kind of already loosely covered everything that I had, just kind of go through the list. The first and biggest thing was like, oh, Bubble's gonna take over the circus. That got shot down almost immediately with the confirmation that Bubble was a creation of Cain. That did spark the kind of the idea of talking about the AIs or if they would return. But it seems as though if the AIs cannot return because they were connected to Cain, likely we're not going to see Gummy Goo, Disappearing Guy, or any of the other NPCs unless it's a flashback. Now, one of the other ones is Jax being Scratch. Unless Cain is capable of going over and stringing stuff together, I don't think that reusing mind scans is going to be likely, especially if the fragmentation or the abstraction of the data points is to be believed as accurate, because it just does not make much sense for it to not be that issue. I still feel like, to a degree, that this is a story that CNA had asked Cain for, the Cain model, and we're going to see like, oh, look, did you like the adventure? Did you like the story that I made? And just with that, I feel like the biggest focus is going to be how each of them are going to handle this. I feel like Ragatha, Gangle, Zubul, Pomni have accepted it is kind of what it is. Kinger has most likely has accepted this for a while, and we're genuinely trying to help Cain. It's just Jax is going to end up doing a lot of stuff, and we're going to see a new side of that, and that's probably going to affect everyone else more so than we thought prior. So it just seems more like if anything was to happen, it's going to end up being because Jax reacted instead of responding. So with that being said, I'm going to give a bit more time for everyone to share thoughts and opinions, and then I think we can call it here. Okay. With that being said, I'm Mr.CanKnotNot, and this has been All in Jest. I do appreciate everyone who's tuned in, and hopefully we can get more stuff with All in Jest going sooner. But until then, I am Mr.CanKnotNot, signing out. If I can... Did I lock it? I locked it again.